Are you constantly chasing success, yet feel like something is missing? We live in a world that screams hustle harder. But what if the secret to true fulfillment isn't about pushing more, but about finding an ancient balance? This video dives into how Eastern wisdom and Western drive aren't enemies, but powerful allies waiting to transform your everyday. Let me ask you something. When was the last time you finished a productive day and actually felt satisfied? Not just tired, not just accomplished, but truly at peace with what you did. For most of us, that feeling is rare. We live in a constant state of motion. More emails, more meetings, more goals, more hustle. The grind never stops, and we've been told that's the price of success. But here's the paradox. We're achieving more than any generation in history, yet we're more anxious, more burned out, and more disconnected than ever before. In 2026, we have every productivity tool imaginable. AI assistance, automation, optimization everywhere. We should be thriving. Instead, we're exhausted. Why? Because we've adopted a purely Western model of success. The relentless drive, the optimization, the belief that rest is weakness and that there's always more to achieve. And it's killing us. But there's another way, an older way, one that's been practiced for thousands of years in the East. A philosophy that doesn't reject ambition, but reframes it entirely. Today, we're going to bridge two worlds, the contemplative wisdom of Eastern philosophy and the ambitious drive of Western culture. And I'm going to show you how the greatest thinkers from both traditions actually said remarkably similar things. The goal isn't to choose between hustle and peace, it's to synthesize them into something more powerful than either one alone. Let's start with the problem, the modern paradox we're all living. You wake up, you check your phone before your eyes fully open. Emails, messages, notifications. Your brain shifts into response mode immediately. You haven't even left bed and you're already behind. You work all day, back-to-back meetings, constant context switching, always connected, always available. You finish at 6 p.m. or 7 or 8. You tell yourself you're productive, you're hustling, you're making it happen. But inside there's this gnawing feeling. Am I doing what actually matters, or am I just busy? You fall asleep exhausted but not satisfied, and tomorrow you'll do it all again. This is the always-on culture. It's not just a work style, it's become an identity. We measure our worth by our output, our value by our productivity, our success by how much we can fit into a day. The result? Burnout is epidemic, anxiety is the default state, and deep down, we know something is fundamentally wrong. Here's the internal conflict most of us feel but rarely name. We want success. We have goals, ambitions, things we're trying to build. That desire is real and valid. But we also long for peace, for presence, for the ability to be here, now, without our minds racing to the next task or replaying the last mistake. Western culture tells us these are incompatible. You can have success or peace, ambition or contentment, drive or calm. Pick one. But that's a false choice, and it's exactly what ancient philosophy, both East and West, spent centuries dismantling. Let me introduce you to two figures separated by geography and time, but united in wisdom. Seneca, the Roman Stoic philosopher who lived 2000 years ago, and Lao Tzu, the ancient Chinese sage, founder of Taoism, who lived even earlier. On the surface, they seem like opposites. Seneca was a statesman, advisor to emperors, deeply engaged in the political world of Rome. Lao Tzu was a recluse, a contemplative who emphasized withdrawal from worldly affairs. But read their works closely and something remarkable emerges. They're teaching the same core truths, just from different angles. Let's start with Seneca and Stoicism. Most people misunderstand Stoicism. They think it means suppressing emotions, being cold, enduring suffering without complaint. That's not Stoicism, that's repression. Real Stoicism is about this. You don't control external events, you control your response to them. You can't control whether you get the promotion, but you can control whether you let that define your worth. You can't control whether someone criticizes you, but you can control whether you internalize it. Seneca wrote, "We suffer more often in imagination than in reality." Most of our stress isn't from what's actually happening, it's from our thoughts about what's happening, what might happen, or what already happened. Sound familiar? That's the root of burnout. We're not just working, we're worrying about work. We're not just doing tasks, we're carrying the mental weight of every task, past and future, all at once. The Stoic answer? Focus only on what you can control, let go of the rest. Now let's go east. Lao Tzu, the author of the Tao Te Ching, introduced a concept called Wu Wei. It's often translated as effortless action or non-doing, but those translations miss the depth. Wu Wei doesn't mean doing nothing. It means acting in alignment with the natural flow of things. It's the difference between forcing a door open and realizing it opens the other way. In nature, water doesn't force its way through obstacles. It flows around them. Eventually, it wears down even the hardest stone. Not through force, but through persistence and alignment with its nature. Lao Tzu said, "Nature does not hurry, yet everything is accomplished." Here's where it gets interesting. This isn't so different from Seneca's Stoicism. Seneca taught that you should focus your energy only on what you can actually influence. Everything else is wasted effort. That's Wu Wei. Don't fight reality, work with it. Lao Tzu taught that the most powerful action comes from understanding the natural order and aligning with it, not resisting it. That's Stoicism. Accept what is, act from that acceptance. Both philosophies are teaching the same thing. Stop trying to control the uncontrollable. Stop forcing outcomes. Start aligning your actions with reality as it is, not as you wish it were. This is where Eastern philosophy and Western drive synthesize into something powerful: contemplative hustle. Let me give you a practical example. Imagine you're working on a big project. The Western hustle approach says, push harder, work longer hours, grind through obstacles, force the outcome. The purely Eastern approach might say, let go of attachment to the outcome, don't strive, be present, accept whatever happens. Both have truth, but both, taken alone, are incomplete. Contemplative hustle says this: be clear on your goal. That's the Western clarity of purpose. Then, act with full effort, but without attachment to how it unfolds. That's the Eastern detachment. You work hard, but you're not desperate. You're ambitious, but you're not anxious. You care deeply about the outcome, but your peace doesn't depend on it. Seneca would call this acting according to virtue and accepting fate. Lao Tzu would call this Wu Wei, acting with the flow. Here's what this looks like in practice. You have a deadline. Western hustle says, stress about it, work through the night, sacrifice everything to hit it. Eastern detachment says, it will unfold as it should. Don't attach to the timeline. Contemplative hustle says, I will do everything within my power to meet this deadline. I will plan well, execute focused work, and eliminate distractions. But if unforeseen circumstances arise that are beyond my control, I will adapt without losing my center. The result? You work just as hard, maybe harder, but the quality of your experience is completely different. You're driven, not desperate, focused, not frantic. Let me give you another example. Rejection. You pitch an idea, apply for a job, put your work out into the world. It gets rejected. Western hustle says, this is feedback, work harder, improve, try again, prove them wrong. Eastern philosophy says, this rejection isn't about you, it's the universe unfolding. Let it go, stay detached. Contemplative hustle says, I gave my best effort. The rejection is data, not a verdict on my worth. I'll learn what I can from it and move forward without carrying the emotional weight. You act, you improve, you try again. But you don't internalize the rejection as identity. This is the synthesis: purpose with presence, ambition without anxiety, drive without desperation. Now let's talk about how to actually live this, because philosophy is useless if it stays theoretical. First principle: clarify what you actually control. Seneca's core teaching. Make a list right now. What in your life is within your control? Your effort, your attitude, your responses, your habits, your focus. What's outside your control? Other people's opinions, the economy, the past, outcomes that depend on variables you can't influence. Stop wasting energy on the second list. Direct all your energy to the first. Second principle: align with natural rhythms, not manufactured urgency. This is Wu Wei in practice. Your body has natural energy cycles. Your mind has natural focus windows. Work with them, not against them. Stop glorifying the 12-hour grind if you're only productive for 4 of those hours. Work in alignment with your peak energy. Rest in alignment with your need for recovery. That's not laziness, that's Wu Wei. Third principle: redefine productivity. Western culture measures productivity by output. How much did you produce? Eastern philosophy measures by alignment. Were you present? Did you act according to your values? Contemplative hustle measures by both. Did you make meaningful progress and maintain your inner peace? Some days you'll produce a lot and feel aligned. Those are great days. Some days you'll produce less but stay centered through difficulty. Those are equally valuable. The worst days are high output with total internal chaos. That's not success, that's burnout with the productivity mask on. Fourth principle: practice detachment from outcomes, not indifference to effort. This is the hardest one. You care deeply, you work hard, you give everything you have, but when the result comes, you don't let it define you. Seneca said, "He who fears death will never do anything worthy of a man who is alive." Replace death with failure. He who fears failure will never do anything worthy of someone who is truly living. Lao Tzu said, "The sage does not hoard. The more he helps others, the more he benefits. The more he gives to others, the more he gets himself." Both are teaching the same thing. Let go of desperate grasping. Act from abundance, not scarcity. Fifth principle: build daily practices that anchor you. Philosophy without practice is just ideas. You need rituals that remind you of these principles when life gets chaotic. For me, it's this. Every morning, I write down 3 things I can control today. That's Stoicism. Then I identify one thing I'll do in flow, without force. That's Wu Wei. At the end of the day, I ask 2 questions. Did I act according to my values? Did I stay present? Or did I spend the day mentally elsewhere? That's it. 5 minutes total, but it keeps me grounded. Here's the uncomfortable truth. Balance isn't a destination. It's a practice you return to over and over. You will have days where you slip into pure hustle, where you push too hard, lose your center, and feel the anxiety creep back in. That's human. You will also have days where you detach too much, where you tell yourself you're being present, but really you're avoiding effort. That's also human. The goal isn't perfection, it's awareness. When you notice you've drifted too far into hustle, bring yourself back to presence. When you notice you've drifted too far into detachment, reconnect with purpose. This is the dance. Eastern philosophy without Western drive becomes passivity. Western drive without Eastern wisdom becomes burnout. Together they create something rare, a life of meaningful achievement and sustained peace. Let me leave you with this. Seneca, at the height of his political power, wrote letters to a friend about the futility of chasing external validation and the importance of inner tranquility. Lao Tzu, living as a recluse, wrote about the power of acting with purpose when the moment calls for it. Both understood that true fulfillment isn't about choosing between ambition and peace, it's about integrating them. You don't have to abandon your goals, you don't have to stop striving, you just have to stop letting your worth depend on the outcomes. Work hard, care deeply, then let go. That's the balance, that's the synthesis. That's how you navigate modern life without losing yourself in the process. If this resonated with you, subscribe for more philosophy applied to modern life. Drop a comment telling me which principle you're going to practice this week, and share this with someone who needs to hear it. The world needs more people who are driven without being desperate, ambitious without being anxious, successful without being stressed. Be one of them.